YouTube above average Cody here, coming at you with some reasons why you should play Halo Infinite in 2024. Now, is this one of those videos where I'm going to be like, this game's great, it's super relevant again, and that's why you should play it? No, because the game is the furthest thing from relevant right now. It's still very far off from being a perfect game. Although I love it and have been having an absolute blast, I'd still probably give it about a 7 out of 10. Now, not to fully contradict the video here, so I'm going to go over all of the good and great things about this game that I have been having an absolute blast with, and then we're going to cover some of the bad and the ugly things about Halo Infinite in its current state, because I feel like you can't have bad stuff in this game without it being an absolute ugly mess, and that's been pretty much the track record for the majority of this game. So, guys, as I mentioned, I have been having so much fun on this game, and it really all starts with the current firefight mode, Gruntpocalypse. Very simple mode. It's just waves of grunts, and you defend the hills from the grunts. There's special bot grunts, like big ones, like Bip Bap and stuff like that. It sounds silly, it sounds absolutely stupid, and it sounds way too easy, but it is the closest I have felt to a true Halo experience here on Infinite. It really takes me back to the days of like 3, ODST, and Reach, where like I just get on and play the most silly nonsense on a Saturday morning and just have an absolute blast with it. And I want to start with that because obviously it's the current limited time mode. I think it's going to be coming out pretty soon here, and they're going to go back to normal firefight. But the mode is just so much more fun than I expected, and I don't even know why it is so fun, except that it feels very, very Halo. And off of that, I will branch into all of the things that you can do in Forge, not only from firefight and all the fun modes and maps and everything that's been created. You guys already know that every Halo just has a whole slew of things created in Forge by these absolute masterminds that are better at creating things than the devs themselves sometimes. But how easy it is to literally just open up your game, fire up a custom game of, I don't know, red light, green light, and just invite friends, or you can find a Discord, or you can literally use the custom games browser and just hop into some games. I'm sure it's not perfect for everybody, but for me, at least in my experiences, it's very smooth, it is very quick and easy, and me as a content creator, I can just throw up a stream, be like, hey, anybody want to play customs? And I can throw 10 to 15 people into a game of custom Forge stuff, and again, that is just very, very Halo, which is also a bit of the reason I wanted to make this video, is because although I've loved Infinite and I've played a lot of Halo Infinite, it's my first Halo since Reach, not too much of it has really felt like the old experiences I had on Halo. I kind of just enjoy the competitiveness of Halo and the gameplay on Infinite, but lately I've been having a lot of fun in the sillier things like Gruntpocalypse and Forge. Now guys, I want to talk about some of the other limited time modes that came into the game and pretty much ended up becoming permanent, because again, this video kind of caters to people who maybe haven't played in a while, possibly even since launch, or maybe you're just curious about what Halo Infinite looks like in its current state. We had some limited time modes like Husky Raid, which is basically just a really skinny single lane where you're trying to capture the enemy's flag, and it is absolute chaos. It came in as a limited time mode, and they were smart enough to just make it permanent, and now it is a staple of Halo Infinite, including Squad Battle was the same thing. Basically, they did classic maps. I think it was 6v6, and it was just really fun and a lot of chaos, and it was just really good time, and they made that permanent. And not only did they leave it at making it permanent, but both actually recently got full map overhauls, so they got completely pumped with brand new maps, 7 maps for one. I think the other one got 8 maps, and just they're really great maps, and the fact that they are buffing these social modes that are very fun and a very good time for the majority of the community is just really, really great and really impressive to see, because at the start of Infinite, not only did we not have any really fun social modes, but they also were not getting revamped or any new maps whatsoever. And one other thing that's actually pretty impressive right now that kind of affects everybody is the wait times in the game. Although it's no secret the player base in Halo Infinite is nothing that players would like to see, the playlists are very much healthy enough to find games even at the awkward times in the morning. At least for me, it may be easier for me to say because I'm East Coast US, and it seems like in every single playlist I can hop on and get a game in less than a minute. I realize many people aren't as fortunate, but even in the busier areas, a game that's been around for this long and on the back end of its lifespan, it's very impressive to still have playlists being this healthy, and I really just have to tip my hat to that. Again, I'm in a healthier area, but it's just impressive because no matter where you live, a game that's been around this long, you usually don't see playlists being quite this healthy. And now I will mention the cosmetics in this game, guys. Although the store is a bit of a cash grab, prices keep going up and it is kind of expensive, the cosmetics look absolutely amazing. There are so many cool customization options. There's so many things you can do with all the armor cores. And again, although some of the packs and the coolest stuff cost a bit of spaghetti to acquire, there's also a lot of other stuff that if you've been playing Infinite, you can make your Spartan look pretty sweet, which isn't a big bonus for people that are coming back to the game late, because obviously you probably don't want to jump on and spend a bunch of money to make your Spartan look cool. But I definitely appreciate the fact that I can see other Spartans looking cool, other people customizing and making these crazy Spartan builds, because again, that's just an aspect of Halo that I feel like Infinite was missing for quite some time. So to now have it, I think that's a major W. And the last positive thing I want to talk about before we get into the bad and or the ugly is the new network, at least from my experience, feels really good. There's a lot of weird things and it feels like you bandit trade and melee trade a little too much, but these are all trades that really never happened on the old network. And if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, they just put in a newer network overhaul. Pretty much it was a stab to try to fix the desync, the melee issues, the shot registration issues, and for me it's felt really good, but there are a lot of mixed reviews about it. Some people are not as pleased with the network, so that's a good transition into the bad and the ugly, and that brings me to something that happened with the new network update, and that is the addition of easy anti-cheat. So you think anti-cheat add to the game, it's going to be great, it's going to be perfect, no more cheaters, right? Apparently there's a whole new slew of cheating and things that we have not seen before. A lot of people are calling for immediate fixes to it, and although I haven't experienced it, if you get on in certain modes, even BTB, you may see some insane cheating, which I am praying gets fixed sooner rather than later. And of course, along with this, guys, depending on where you are, I do want to mention again, the network may not feel quite as good, because for every 10 people I see saying the network feels amazing and they're really happy with how it feels, there's another 10 people saying that the network is the worst thing ever and they should go back to the old network. So just keep that in mind. Just because Above Average Cody is saying his game feels amazing, sadly it does not necessarily mean that your game's going to feel amazing, and it's not going to feel consistent game to game, because that's just one of the realities of Halo Infinite. It has been since the start, and sadly it still is now, at least from my point of view. And now, guys, you may notice that I, being a big ranked player, I already mentioned I enjoy the competitiveness of Halo Infinite. Ranked is very stale. It is actually in the negatives column. You guys have noticed I have not mentioned it once in this video, because although I have been having a great time in ranked and I have been having an absolute blast just solo grinding and reading chat and stuff like that, I can't help but acknowledge that it's still not the best experience in the ranked arena, with the new influx of cheaters that I mentioned, with all of these Smurf accounts, because it's really not rewarding at all to grind on your main account unless you're trying to get hero rank, and then most importantly, just the abysmal grind of just getting to a rank where the game thinks you should be, and then just getting stuck there until the end of eternity, unless you fry out 100 games in a row, and then basically tell the game that you're better, which obviously that's part of a ranked system, but it's very unrewarding to go on a 10-game win streak, work your way up, and then get a little teeny tiny amount of SR to win, and then just losing a monster chunk of SR, because you would imagine you climb up, you're playing harder lobbies. If you're able to win in those higher lobbies, you should continue to climb further, but sadly that is just not how it is. Ranked Halo, although it is an amazing experience, it's very stale. We've had the same maps for quite some time, and the grind is the most unrewarding and abysmal ranked system and experience I think that I have ever played. And the final negative thing I want to say right now about Halo Infinite, and I'm sure I've missed a lot of other things, but these are just the first things that come to mind. It is the fact that we are at the point in the game where there is kind of nothing to be excited about. If you are still grinding Halo Infinite, like myself here, you're doing it solely off of passion and love for Halo. And although that is enough for the current state of Halo Infinite, you can't help but mention how disappointing it is, because this operation that we are currently in was the last projected operation after the seasons were already axed. So is there going to be another roadmap with future operations coming? Is there going to be something from 343 saying that there's more stuff coming down the pipeline? Or are we just going to sit in this purgatory of, oh boy, I hope there's content coming, but as of now, there's no content coming? Because you can search up Halo Infinite, you can search up Halo 7, you can search up whatever you want, and unless you're digging the deep, dark depths of Twitter, there really aren't any big cash money headlines to get you really excited and amped to get on this game. And I have to mention that in the negatives because, again, this video is not the Halo Infinite is hype and you have to get on to play. It's really not. This video is more so, I've been having a blast on Halo Infinite. I think Halo Infinite is 1,000 times better than it was 1 year ago, let alone from launch. So if you have not played this game in quite some time, or you have a Halo itch that needs some scratching, and you've already done the Halo 2, Halo 3, MCC run-through, I definitely think giving Halo Infinite another chance is definitely worth your time. I mean, it's free to play, you know, it just takes a quick little install, and there is so much added to the game than the last time you probably played if you watched all the way to the end of this video. And guys, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Not a super in-depth video, not a super well-organized video, but like I said, I've been having a lot of fun on Halo Infinite, and I definitely think it deserves, I really don't want to say praise because it was executed very terribly from the beginning, but it does deserve some form of flowers. Just the state that it's in now compared to the state that it launched in and the state that it was in the year after launch, it's actually quite impressive about where it's at. Is it a perfect game? No. Like I said, I rank it at probably 7 out of 10. It doesn't crack my top 2 or 3 favorite Halos, but I do really love Halo Infinite. I love the gameplay of Halo Infinite, and I really do hope that they take what they learned from this Halo Infinite experience into the next game and hopefully make a better Halo project that all of us fans can really rejoice over and enjoy together. So yeah, guys, that's the video. Kind of all over the place. Not very descriptive. Just a bit of a conversation piece I wanted to make for y'all. So please, guys, subscribe to the channel. A lot of Halo Infinite content. We just dove into some Helldivers 2, and we'll be mixing that into the streams here and there, maybe with some other games. Just throwing some variety up on the channel for y'all. So hit that sub button, guys. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment. Where do you stand on Halo Infinite? Have you not played in a long time? And if so, let me know if you're going to give it a shot. Outside of that, guys, channel memberships and super thanks. If you'd like to support monetarily, it helps me out a lot as a content creator, but please do not feel like you have to. But alrighty, guys, appreciate you, love you, thank you for all the support lately. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.